Hello, welcome to Hockey on Tap podcast. This is episode 115. Shorts Guy Sucks. I am your host, Bill Dean.
That's not the title. Read the title.
My three co-hosts.
Yeah, no, that's not the title.
Shorts Guy, Little Steve, and Schwim. Brought to you by Primetime Radio Chris and Sam Wu. I am behind the glass. Shorts Guy can take a look at that in a minute. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Please leave us a big thumbs up, 5-star review if you'd be so kind. Gentlemen, what are we drinking? Oh, and by the way, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, and now Happy New Year. I know we took off last week, so happy everything to everybody. Hope you had a great holiday, 2 weeks. And we are back in the saddle. We're ready to go. Now, what are you guys drinking?
All right, I'll start. I had received prior to Christmas about $55 worth of gift certificates to various liquor stores, so I went nuts and bought some beer. And the last one I have left of all of this is the I haven't had it in a couple of years, but I have the Troegs Blizzard of Hops, which is a very good winter beer. I figure it's the end of winter's. Oh, hey Tread. Winter is just sort of in its infancy. But yeah, so I'm drinking Blizzard of Hops.
Nice guy.
Esteban?
Well, now that I can sort of taste, I don't know how my rating is going to be, but I'm going to finally crack open the Crimson Crew.
Nice.
Dogfish and Rodenbach, both two of my favorite breweries. Although I don't think I'll probably ever go to Rodenbach unless I go to Belgium, but maybe one day I can.
We can always make the trip.
That's true.
I would like to.
And I am
Germany.
I am drinking something that's
Belgium.
not good. Dean, does this bring back memories?
That is bad.
Terrible.
That was god awful.
It's a hard green tea with honey by Magnify. It is not good, but
No,
I'm going to drink it.
I was having a conversation with my buddy or with my cousin when we were talking about Magnify and how and Magnify is a very good brewery. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, this one misses the mark.
This one,
Shim already failed in January, right off the bat.
Yeah. The honey. Yep.
Yep. And I'll say sometimes the Magnify, a lot of their IPAs taste the same. They're all good. It's just there's no difference between one to the other, which I like Magnify and I like their sours. I think they do a good job, but that's one knock. And a lot of breweries do this. They'll take a beer and they'll have it for a couple of years, and then they'll just recycle it into a new name. And obviously, it's how they do it. But anyways, I'm drinking Distinguished Indistinguishability. It's a hazy IPA by Pizza Boy. Yeah, it's called Pizza Boy. Nice. Yeah, Pizza Boy Brewing. Okay. And it's got two guys in monocles and top hats. Not bad. All right, gents, let's get to what's on tap for today's episode. Here's our weekly snapshot. We're going to go right into the standings because obviously we've been out a little while, but and today's game between the Boss. Well, obviously today was the Winter Classic game between the Bruins and the Penguins. Steven, I'll give you the floor in a couple seconds to go over that. But at the time, Boston 29-4-4. They're tops in the Atlantic. Toronto right behind them at 52, followed by Tampa and Detroit. Florida Panthers are not looking good and are likely in danger of missing the playoffs. In the Metro, Carolina Hurricanes 25-6-6, 56 points. Devils behind them at 49, followed by the Capitals and Rangers 47-46. Pittsburgh at 44. Then Western Conference Dallas Stars 23-9-6, 52 points, followed by the Jets, and then Minnesota Wild and Colorado Avalanche falling up at 4th spot. And then finally Pacific, Vegas Golden Knights 52 points, doing very well. Kings at 48, and then you had the Flames, Kraken, and the Oilers right around the 43-42 mark. Steven, Winter Classic.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it.
It was pretty dull for the most part. There wasn't a whole lot that was going on. Tristan Jarry injures himself, I don't know how, in the first period, very quickly into the first period. Is replaced by Casey DeSmith, and if Casey DeSmith is going to do something, it's lose. and it's something he does well, and he did it. It doesn't even matter if he plays well, if he plays okay, if he plays great. He just loses, and I don't know how to solve that question or problem. I mean, but yeah, Boston came on in the third period and played well and scored two kind of scrappy goals, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, Jake DeBrusque.
I don't know if
had
you guys
both of them,
watched it.
right?
It was he had both, and both not great on Smith's part, but also not great on that. Chris Letang had to leave this morning to his father just passed away, so he had to leave to go back with family. So they were without him. I don't even know if he's healthy enough to play, but he had left. They dressed 7 defensemen, 11 forwards, which I never like, and I don't think any of you like either.
No, awful.
So it wasn't great, but it was fine, I guess, the game for what it was. But I don't know about you guys. I'm over these outdoor games. I think that there's I don't know. I think they created way too many for that bunch of years there where they had the Heritage Classic, the Winter Classic, the Stadium Series, and all that other stuff. And it's just I just feel like you never get an actual hockey game out of those games. It's always something completely different. Usually it's a little sloppy and oh wow. Anybody watching Canada?
No.
They Canada's up 3-2 right now. World Juniors, Canada's up 3-2 right now. Somebody got just completely obliterated at the blue line, a Canadian player.
We were talking about just the amount of games and all that stuff. And I know Kevin on our group text was saying that next year it's Seattle and Vegas, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Two different teams.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's the Penguins, Steven, and you're going to say you want to be in it. But the Bruins and the Penguins have been in so many goddamn games. Winter Classics.
Sidney Crosby is now Sidney Crosby's record, because they were going over his record. Crosby's record is now 2-3-4 in outdoor games.
That's crazy.
And you want your best players, and I understand having Crosby there. And and it's not just about the Rangers, but the Rangers have that stupid thing where they can't be a home team that outside of MSG because it's some tax thing, so they can't have a home NHL. So they can't do Yankee Stadium. But
I do understand the larger markets and the desire for the NHL to market and to use these teams over and over again, because they have consistently not only such a huge fan base at home, but a huge fan base across the entire nation. So it makes sense on a business aspect, but yeah, you would like to see other teams get involved. I think this next year's is interesting for the most part. I don't know how well received this one was, since it was. I don't know. I have been on and off paying attention, and I didn't look into the details as to why this game was today and not yesterday.
I think it's because of football.
That and today was the observed day off too, so that could have been why.
Yeah, football was the main reason.
But I don't know. I mean, next year, the fact that Vegas and Seattle are in it are cool. So, Seattle's been in the league, and both these teams have been in the league for a handful of years now, and they have an outdoor game. And some of these teams who have been around forever have maybe been in one or none at all. So,
See,
I just don't know. They have to invite, and they want a rivalry. They want some sort of fanfare behind this whole thing. So. You want teams who kind of don't like each other, so it's okay, you want Tampa to be in an outdoor game, but obviously it's not going to be at home. I know they did one, in California, but they're not going to have one in Florida. So then you got to bring them up somewhere to play somebody, and it's okay, who are we gonna pit them against? I mean, anybody I think would be great, but they're looking for Flyers Penguins, Flyers Capitals, Penguins Penguins Flyers, Penguins Capitals, Penguins Bruins, and Chicago, Detroit, and things like this, and they want this. It ends up being the same thing over and over again, and now it's just not that exciting anymore. Granted, that's my opinion, not anybody else's, but I don't know. I was excited that Pittsburgh had a New Jersey, and I liked. I'm sorry, Shorts guy, I was excited that Pittsburgh had a New Jersey, and it was nice, but there was nothing about me that was just like, I can't wait for the Winter Classic. There at never any moment was I just like, and maybe it's because Pittsburgh has been in so many, and I've been spoiled in that sense. But I mean, I don't know. I'm over it, to be completely honest with you. But hey, I got New Jersey out of it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's part of what the league did wrong by continuously recycling the same handful of teams to not really expand, the potential of the different markets from getting involved. So by having Vegas and Seattle next year, I think that can be a big deal because the Seattle market is huge for sports. So I think that market is going to come out, and Vegas has quite a following as well. So I think both those sets of fans are definitely going to come out. I think that they have watered it down, like you guys all agree. We had too many outdoor games, the Stadium Series, and all that stuff. One thing that I'm going to contend, and I don't know what you would think about this, Billy Dean, or you guys as well. Devils Rangers at Giants Stadium.
Yeah.
I think Devils
Rangers
a great idea. At Giants.
I don't see why
Devils
not.
home game. Sure.
Devils home game. Devils Rangers Giants Stadium. 80,000 people tailgating in the parking lot of Giants Stadium. I think would be fantastic. It's in the New York market, obviously the New York New Jersey market. You've got a rivalry. It would be I think a great sell, but I think they have to keep it to just the Winter Classic and the Heritage Classic, and those are your two outdoor games for the year. Otherwise,
I think that's what they've done now. I don't think they're done with the whole Stadium Series nonsense.
I hope they're done doing the Stadium
stuff, which is good.
See, the NHL and a lot of people frowned at what happened with the whole Lake Tahoe thing, but that was a great idea and a great.
I thought the Lake Tahoe thing was great.
It was, except for obviously the sun, and we had the whole issues, and they delayed the game. And that was, but everyone kind of shit down their throat that hey, this screwed up real bad, blah blah blah. But they immediately go into shell of they tried, and they immediately go to the shell of let's just go back to Fenway. Everyone likes Fenway, but they should really go out there and find these venues, these cool places, and play the games there. Go to Ohio State and have Columbus play someone in Ohio State. I don't care that it's Columbus. Go to find cool places to play hockey and make that happen. Whatever that is, we always see that view of the mountains in the background, and I can't remember. It's in Canada somewhere, and I have it written down. But there's a location in Canada where you always see these cool skating videos. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think I know
the mountains and the shit. I have it written down somewhere, but anyways, Peyto Lake in Canada. So, but find those cool areas and have that be the focus of your
backdrop.
Yeah,
like a neutral site.
Have fun. Yeah,
you just gotta
go to Central Park. Go to Central Park in the middle of New York.
Do something different because on television, all these Winter Classics look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's now if like when I watch it, I watched maybe barely a little bit of the first period. I'm like, this looks exactly like every single Winter Classic that's been before it. I think if you're not actually at the Classic and you're just watching it on TV, it's uninteresting. If you're actually there enjoying the outdoor and the spectacle of it all, it could be cool. But TV, it's exactly the same.
The sight lines though at these non-hockey arenas do suck. The sight lines at the Devil Ranger Stadium Series game at Yankee Stadium sucked. It was not very good. So that's the other thing that they got to think, and that's why I think a football stadium is probably your best bet because, you have that natural bowl type shape to the stadium, and you put everything right there in the middle. It
looks weird on a baseball field. It's like so.
It does.
It's not centered and it's not symmetrical. It doesn't look good.
Everything non-baseball in a baseball stadium looks really weird.
Even baseball.
Well, I mean, baseball is baseball, but I still contend. And Billy Dean, if it's Devils Rangers at Giant Stadium, we have to go. We have to go.
Yeah. Oh, I'm there with you.
And all right. We'll sit together and we'll podcast. On the
you know who wouldn't be there?
Yeah. We'll do a pod.
You know who wouldn't be there?
Who?
No. The title of our episode, Alexis.
Fuck you.
Also,
drop that bum. I don't even care.
Also, this one.
So Billy Dean,
you want to go?
This one will also not be
Where do you
there.
want to go, Steven?
No, I don't. Cold and me do not get along.
That's true.
Just layer up.
Steven's had bad past
Yeah,
experiences, and in weather.
Yeah, but you got this
Billy
warm
Dean.
Papa
And-
Bear next to you. You'll be
And
fine.
live events.
It's true.
Yeah, Billy Dean will just wrap you in a giant hug of warmth.
I will. A hug of warmth.
No, you have to carry Steven like in a backpack on your back, like in
A
like a baby
papoose?
Bjorn.
He's just
Yeah.
sitting in my
No,
side
he
here.
needs to be in a baby Bjorn.
All right, before I get on my little bit of Rangers rant, Connor McDavid, and the guy's on a 17 game point streak. He amassed 5 points in the dominant 7-2 win over the Seattle Kraken. He's on pace to have 160 points, which is something that Mario Lemieux did 27 years ago, and that's the last. So he's also become the first player to hit the 70-point mark this season, and required the fewest games to do so since Lemieux. He is having a absolutely crazy, ridiculous season, and it's a lot. I don't, the person, fine. Everyone can debate on, him as a person, but as a player, he's crazy, and he's so ridiculously fun to watch. And you just watch how he goes about with the puck and without the puck, and his speed of the game. He's at, like I said, 72 points now. He's 15 ahead of his teammate Leon Draisaitl in the scoring race, who has 57.
And
He's got 32 goals in 38 games.
I was just going to say that 40 of those points are assists. So it's not like it's just all goals. Like he's contributing on both sides of the play. He's assisting and he's scoring. It's insane.
I wonder
talking about
what's his percentage
about it last night.
of what he
That's what I'm
contributes
looking up.
like, for every goal. I want to see
That's
like
what I'm looking up right now.
Is he involved in like 48% of his team's goals? Something ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll take.
Because every time you see a goal scored, I'm always looking like, who got the goal, who got the assist, and most of the time, I would say like 75% of the time, I'm seeing his name involved in it in some way.
I mean, this is
just awful,
that
by the way. I hope you
ridiculous.
guys appreciate it.
So
I don't know why I'm drinking this.
So he is so the total for the team is 376 points, and he's got 72. So let's see, 72 divided by. This is really good podcasting, by the way. I'm doing math on the radio.
Doing math.
He's at 20%. 20% of the team's points.
Jeez.
Also, 20% of their salary. So,
and
I guess he's on par.
he's on par.
Seriously, and they're not. So where are they in the standings? They're just in a
That's
wild
another
card spot,
thing.
correct?
It's the same old McDavid. He's putting up a shit ton of points, and then it's going to be the same old Edmonton Oilers. Like they're not going to do anything if they make the playoffs. Anything in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's got all this.
Shame.
So do you think he would trade all of this scoring for a team that was going to potentially win the cup?
I would think so. I think he wants to win a cup more than anything.
Yeah, I think he would. It did go back to kind of that question and I know it's a little different because obviously Ovechkin had won a cup, but whose career would you rather have, Ovechkin's or Crosby's? Crosby being the ultimate winner and like great player versus like Ovechkin, he has a cup, but he also has the goal scoring and he has this crazy life. Take Russia out of it, but just like who would you rather have that career? But he would absolutely take a cup.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm thinking he's not going to be in a lifer Edmonton Oilers.
He won't. I don't think he will either. He's going to follow the Gretzky path.
He's going to go somewhere else where he can have a better chance to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be like Gretzky leaving all over again.
Yeah.
Except
man.
And that's going to be poor Edmonton fans because think of all the guys they've lost between Paul Coffey and Gretzky and Messier and Yari Curry and you go Grant Fuhr and all these awesome all-time players that they just can't hold on to a full career.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess who's the best Edmonton Oiler that's been there for their entire career? Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? It's amazing.
Smith?
Mike Smith?
Mike Smith?
No, not Mike Smith. What was it, Jason?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the captain.
Yeah.
I think it's
Ryan
They
Smith.
got the messed up nose.
Ryan
Smith.
Smith.
Yeah, thanks.
Brian, yeah.
Ryan Smith. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
the messed up nose.
S-Y. It was
S-M-Y-T-H.
Yeah.
Yes, M-O-I-T-H, yeah. He's the only one that I can think of that was, I want to say he was there his whole career. So he could
No, he wasn't there his whole career. He went
wasn't?
Ryan
somewhere to
Smith?
chase the cup. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't remember where he went. He went somewhere.
think he did
That's
also. Yeah.
it's kind of the hallmark of what. Because even like
He's in a Colorado. The first picture of him is in a Colorado Avalanche uniform.
jersey.
So
Right,
There you go.
yeah.
Yes, and the Nuge maybe that would be it.
The Nuge.
Yeah.
The
The
Nuge.
Nuge.
Nail Yakupov.
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, he went to a lot of places. He was in Edmonton, but then he went to the
Stokes.
Islanders, Colorado, Kings, and then back to Edmonton. Yeah, so he hopped around a little bit.
Okay.
842 points and 1,200 career games. All right, quickly. Leon Draisaitl, who said 57 in a second. Jason Robertson, who's continuing to be an absolute beast, 54. And then Erik Karlsson, you have a defenseman in the top 4 in scoring at 53.
That's
and he has
wild.
continued to be amazing for that team.
Yep.
Cooch is also tied with 53 points. He was the leader in assists until McDavid's crazy 5-point night.
Jerk.
Yep. Nugent Hopkins is actually top 10 in scoring at 45 points. So good job, Nuge. All right, so I did want to just get back into a couple things. We did talk quickly about, the Winter Classic. We talked about Kraken and the Knights getting the Winter Classic at 24. Yeah, exactly. Schwib, your boy Perbix, getting that 2-year extension. So good
Yes,
job.
which hopefully means that what's his face, Cal Foots could be traded, and Tampa's going to bring in somebody at the deadline.
Ooh, all right. I like it.
First round pick,
Do
get
you
him
have-
out of there.
Yeah, are there any other first round picks to trade?
They're going to have to. Yeah, I think they have a first round pick this year. They can package that, Cal Foot, and somebody else or something for
You. So
Whoever.
Schwim, you do realize you're a couple years away from just absolute just
Oh
poverty
my God,
as far as hockey.
it's going to be back like it's going to be like 1995 all over
mid-90s.
again. And I'm going to
you're
be
just
like,
gonna
That's funny.
it's going to be terrible.
At that point, Cynthia just can't walk away because she's all locked up. So
Yeah.
Just
most
gonna have to
trying
deal with
years.
Death to us
my
part.
my anger watching them is gonna go from like here to like out of view. You can't even like see it right now. It's gonna be
That's
when they're horrible
yours.
again.
Oh my
You're
gosh!
such-
Yeah, you're gonna have to have a new place with a separate soundproof room for you to
You know
watch
what, though?
these
But
games.
Cynthia will be happy because they won't be in the playoffs and the season will be over a lot quicker. I won't be like
Yeah, but
I won't be screaming at the TV going into June.
you'll be screaming at the TV for 82 games, and it's gonna be worse.
It might be, but at least it ends in April instead of 2 more months.
I don't know.
They're gonna be so bad.
Let's cross that bridge. Let's cross that bridge when we get there.
It's gonna be a stockpile of first round picks.
I like it. Ovechkin with a hat trick the other night. He has his 806th goal, and he's his 30th hat trick. I was trying to actually look up quickly most hat tricks in the NHL just to see where that comes into play. But I guess it is Gretzky who had the most. He had 50 hat tricks, at least 53 or more goal
50.
games. Mario Lemieux had 40, and then Ovechkin's now at 30. Besides that, I saw that Joe Pavelski signs a new contract, and he's going to be playing his 18th NHL season under the new deal. And then I don't know if you guys saw this, the Blues, who have been terrible of late, both putting on the IR Tarasenko and O'Reilly. They were my pick to
O'Reilly.
not make the playoffs.
O'Reilly's been like invisible
Yeah,
on that
bad.
team. The
Yeah,
team hasn't
I'm
been
gonna have
good,
to cut him.
but he's been. I don't know.
That team is
Yeah.
such a mess. We were talking about that last night on Let's Go Devils podcast, especially about how Jordan Binnington is the epitome of when you look at someone that's just absolutely insane. You're like, that guy is a goalie.
Yeah.
He must
He-
play
do you-
goal.
Yeah, he's the epitome
I'm
of
surprised
why
there
people
hasn't
think
been a
we're
goalie
nuts.
fight with him involved.
Probably because no one wants to get into a fight with him. You don't want to get into a
Who
fight
do you
with
think
someone
is
that's
crazy enough to fight him?
exactly. that's the reason
Anybody
why.
can fight him. Just because he's a lunatic doesn't mean he can fight.
No,
well, I'm
but
saying, who do you think? What goalies do you think would fight him?
I don't think there's like many goalies that are looking to fight since Mike Smith retired. I don't
Sure.
think there's a really like a violent goalie. I mean, he just has these instances where he just completely unjustifiably like talks smack to people after being embarrassed, which is, I don't know. He's a oddball
He's a loose
in that
cannon,
sense.
that's for sure.
Like I just said, when you
I
think
wonder
of guys that just start talking smack after they just got pulled or whatever, and then he just goes up to the guy who just scored on him and starts talking smack. Like, what could you possibly be saying? I am interested to know what he says.
Is Bobrovsky crazy enough to fight?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
what's his name? Brizgalov might have been. That would have been a good
Grizz would've.
insanity standoff.
I would want to hear Brizgalov try to trash talk somebody. I think that would be one of the most hilarious things. He would say like just something completely out of like left field, and it would be friggin' fantastic.
You know what? I could actually see Tristan Jarry fighting him. Bennington.
Okay. Then he'll be out for 3 weeks.
I don't think we'll see a
Jarry.
goalie v goalie fight anytime soon. I think it'll be a goalie versus like a player or something like that. They'll just start throwing haymakers. I don't think it's not going to be a goalie v goalie.
There will nothing
soon.
Nothing will ever eclipse the Wah versus Mike Vernon fights.
Oh yeah,
Mike Vernon.
Nothing.
And then
nothing
Wah
will ever.
Osgood.
And,
Well, Ray
Wah
Emery
Osgood.
when he used to go at it. Ray Emery when he used to fight like players. That was
but there was
always ridiculous.
There was nothing like that.
Wah Vernon
like,
was fantastic.
How about Brent Johnson
Wah
versus DiPietro?
Oh, the one
that was
punch.
a good one.
Yeah,
He got ragdolled.
that was a good one too.
Poor Ricky.
There was
Glass
a good
jaw.
one between. Ron Hextall was always good for a good goalie fight. There was a good one between.
Oh,
him
he
and
was
Felix
he was a
Potvin.
maniac. He was an absolute maniac, Ron Hextall.
Him versus Felix Potvin was good.
fantastic.
My brother was actually my dad and my brother were actually at the game in the late '90s where Corey Schwab beat the crap out of Tommy Soderstrom.
He should never have
was-
fought Tommy Soderstrom. That's something he should have
was-
never done. Dan
at-
Cloutier was a maniac too.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a little
was
crazy.
maniac.
Yeah.
These are all
Cloutier
all
fight
former
DiPietro?
Tampa Lightning.
Didn't
It's true.
Cloutier fight DiPietro or someone like that?
Cloutier tried to fight the entire bench of somebody's entire
That's-
bench.
Yeah, and that,
Can't remember who off the top of my head.
Steve, a little bit of trivia for you based off your teams. Do you know who has the most goals? Or sorry, the most goals scored with the birthday of January 1st? He plays on the Penguins.
In Penguins history, or just
No.
is it
all time?
Is it
Is it a Penguin?
Jeff Carter?
It is Jeff Carter.
hey,
Wow.
The most goals scored by a birthday of January 1st. So good job, Jeff Carter.
Okay.
Schwim, a little positive on your side. Your boy Brendan Hagel, he has, and let me get the stat, leads all NHL forwards with 42 takeaways this year. Since the NHL began tracking them in 2005, only 5 forwards have ever recorded more takeaways in their first 30 games than Hagel's 42. Datsuk with 51, and he actually did twice.
Wow.
I believe
Okay.
it.
Now Hagel's he's flying around. He's
been very good.
relentless on the puck. I love the way he's been playing late, and especially he's on the top line now. He's contributing. I mean, he's been on the top line for a while, but his last year when he came to the team, he couldn't do anything except score 1 or 2 empty net goals, and now he's contributing like almost every night, being on that top line.
He's
So
doing
now
great for me. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing really well. So yeah, he's he reminds me kind of like Yanni Gord was like that when he was on Tampa. He was relentless, like going in on the forecheck. Bone Storm needs to take like a page out of both of their books and try to be relentless on the forecheck. It's not going to happen. But
there are some things that aren't physically possible, and that is one.
Us skating.
Bone Storm?
Yeah, it's not happening.
Skating.
No, skating. The skating happens. It just looks like no effort is put forth because the skating is that bad.
So if this coming season, once I'm able to play on Tuesdays again, if there's a like a 7-9 split between Tooth and Bone Storm, I'm gonna skate out for Bone Storm one of those weeks.
I was gonna say Shorts is playing nice.
Yeah, and then Schwim and I, because Schwim, we were talking about it the other day. Not you and I, but I think Steven and I. Your scoring is not the same as when you and I were line mates.
It's true. Me and you were friggin' like balls to the wall, getting greasy. short
Just
type
ugly
goals. It was
goals.
fantastic. Yeah. Oh my god, that's all we did was get ugly ass goals. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Now I
Mostly
don't get
because
shit.
I couldn't shoot. So that's what we'll do.
We should.
Matt Banky
Although I might be
saying,
playing.
McDavid
I don't know.
too.
I might be playing defense. If me and Tommy switch, Tommy might go up, and I might play D.
Well, if I skate out
Ooh.
for Bone Storm,
All right.
you're playing up.
All right, that's fine.
Matt Banky saying on Facebook Live, McDavid in New York for anyone Edmonton asks for besides Shesty. That is. I would not give up.
That would
Fox.
be. But if there's ever an Edmonton trade to be made, it would be that. Like you give up your entire franchise that's been waiting to win a cup,
Yes.
but all he needed was a goalie for a goalie that could potentially win
Yeah.
you a cup.
That'd be funny.
That would be very Edmonton-like.
Yes,
So
it would.
I have a
be very depressing.
speaking of the Rangers and the episode title, Billy Dean, I have a question. Was that the last time you ran?
No, it wasn't the last time I ran, asshole.
When he was
God damn
drafted.
For anyone that doesn't remember, and I'm sure Sam,
Oh my
I don't think
God.
he's on, but I'm sure he could find the clip. But yeah, I at the draft, actually at the ball,
draft,
the
lottery.
the draft lottery for the Alexis Lafreniere draft. I got so excited I ripped off my shirt and ran around my entire house and neighborhood shirtless.
On video.
But yes, I've ran
On video.
besides then. Yeah, on video. Well, I was happy. I was going to do it. If you remember the year before, I was going to do it at Lynn's. I said that first there. And that if the Rangers had gotten the number 1 pick, I was going to run around shirtless. I would run all the way up and down Morristown doing that. But instead, we only got the 2nd overall pick, which was Capocacco. Yeah, all right, quickly, Alexis Lafreniere, we'll just get to it, pull off the Band-Aid. He is not Hugh Jessiman 2.0, Shorts guy's a jerk. But
I
he
am not a jerk.
his
We
consistency.
need to do a 2020 redraft.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty interesting. Who would go first? Probably.
I think
obviously
a
Tim
lot of
Stützle, I
guys would
think
be way over.
Yeah.
Lucas Raymond, I think would be way up there now. I mean, he was already, what was he, 4th,
Yeah.
I think, or 5th? I think he could be top 2
I think
now.
Stutzle's probably one.
Stützle probably. Who else is in there? I'm looking it up there.
And Stutzle was
alright,
a
so-
guy they thought could have potentially have gone number 1 also.
Raymond Stützle, Anton Lundell, Seth Jarvis, Jamie Drysdale would probably be still, decently high. He's very good. Braden Schneider would definitely be drafted higher than he was. He's not top 10, but I'm just saying.
No,
Alexis Lafreniere would still be top 10. Dawson Mercer would be top 10. Byfield, would he make you top 10? Probably not.
I don't know. He's hanging out in the AHL right for
Colt
most of his
Perfetti.
NHL career.
Perfetti, I
Yeah,
think, would be
he's
maybe,
not good.
yeah.
Yeah, he's high. But
Seth
he would
Jarvis,
still.
the weirdest looking guy in the league. I think he would be.
Yeah. Yep.
I just
I
think,
always
I don't
forget
think,
he's that young.
I don't think he photographs well. I think that's his issue.
No.
Oh,
No, it's just his face.
Something's wrong with his face.
But all right, quickly on Lafreniere, his consistency has not been there this year, and I guess that's why Gerard Gallant had him sit. Which I know we're a competitive team, we're a contender, but this is the future of your franchise, and they haven't always given him they've given him very good chances to stay on top lines, but on his off wing, which apparently he doesn't do very well, which I don't understand that. I feel like you should be, if you're a winger, you're flipping in and out between both sides. I don't see how that's a big difference, but that's been tough for him, and he hasn't got power play time, which I understand your points would come from power play, and if he was on one of the other shittier teams, he'd be getting a lot more top 6 minutes, and he'd probably be a better player, but the Rangers just are not very good at developing young good forwards, top picks. It's been this way for a while, which is extremely frustrating considering that we have to keep going out and buying players because we can't grow our own players.
Well.
I mean, it's been a while since like Brandon Dubinsky and Ryan Callahan, and you look up and down our lineup. Chris Kreider's the only one still that's really homegrown, other than Kakko and Lafreniere.
Lundqvist looks good in Dallas, by the way. Speaking of homegrown.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get a first round pick for him, so I'm not overly upset. But that goes back to it. I mean, defensemen. You look at some of these defensemen they've let go and not kept, and that's been rough. But they still have Keandre Miller, Ryan Lindgren. I know he came from the Boston system, but he was only a minor leaguer. He never played any NHL games. He's been very well. Adam Fox is someone totally ridiculous on his own.
Not drafted by them, but went out and
yeah.
thank God.
Yeah. But it's been a problem, and it's going to continue to be a problem until they can get some proper,
I
developmental
already know the
coaches.
answer. Lafreniere to Tampa. That's where he'll thrive.
Yeah, if you're going to give me Brayden
Tampa-
Point, sure.
He's gonna get you guys gonna get fleeced by Tampa, and then he'll succeed.
No,
Do you want to see him succeed or not?
I want Brayden Point.
You're not
getting
getting
Brayden Point.
this man. That's Brayden Point. I don't know if you can see it. 21.
There's been obviously rumors that he could be on the trading block, and they won't trade him for anything but a top line player because they'd be stupid to let that contract go out the window. They'd want someone cost controlled at least. That's a top player for someone of that pedigree because I still think he could be very good. So it's frustrating though. It really is as a Ranger fan.
And that's where I've been very happy with the way, even though the Devils' success has been not there the last couple of years, they've drafted well, and we're seeing some of the fruits of that good drafting now finally, which we knew was going to be a long game, and good things. Success usually comes with a long game, but even going first draft with Nico versus what's his name that the Flyers picked that's no longer in the league.
Nolan Patrick.
Nolan Patrick.
Yeah. I feel
that
sorry
was
for him.
Yeah.
Even though it's the Flyers, but still. He's not there anymore.
I mean,
it's just,
but short guy, you could have
man.
had a number 4, a much better player, but you guys decided not to. So
Yeah, but that's not. He wasn't. It was one of those two.
I know.
And it really was. It kind of was
I-
Heischer. I think Heischer was pretty much it. So yeah, they definitely not gambling helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even some of their late round picks like Dawson Mercer, like that was a damn good pick.
Late
first rounder.
Yeah, but still late first round.
Oh, late. I thought you meant late picks, as in like late rounders.
But just late first round, and just the Devils have done well, and I have a feeling that Mohamed Doolin, when he comes into the league, he's going to do very well as well. So we'll see. Again, another late first rounder, but still.
Yeah. And defensemen are they take a little longer to a little bit longer in the oven to bake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very rare that you have Owen Power playing top 20 or 20 plus minutes a night, top 4 defenseman as a 19-year-old. That doesn't happen.
I'm still so mad. I'm still so mad
Ever.
his parents didn't name him Maxwell.
I know.
Max Power.
I'm still so mad.
At least his middle
I
name.
hope his middle name. It's got to be his middle name.
Owen Maxwell Power.
I don't
Max
think it
Powers.
is.
What are you doing?
We have to write him a letter saying you need to change your middle name immediately to Max.
You just need to change your name to Max.
Steve, by the way, I really need T. Higgins to go off. I need 8 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
Okay,
we'll see if that
it's
happens.
not completely. I mean, 30
that's
is a
not
lot
happening.
per player, but
If that happens, I will give you half of the money for the winnings because it's not happening.
what is the winnings? What is the winnings again?
I don't know. Schwem?
200?
Are we making
160?
How many people are in the league? 10?
I make
Or
money,
12.
right?
12, right?
Do I get my money back?
The top 2. Well, no, whoever wins the regular season gets their money back, which was Pecker, but he never paid, so he's not getting anything. And
Fuck that guy.
then the top 2 get, I think it's I don't know, whatever it breaks down, 20 per person, whatever the math is. Yeah.
Sure. All right, quickly. And this pains all of us. And this happened a week or 2 ago. But Blake Wheeler, the groin surgery. Did you guys see this?
I didn't see it.
I did
Mm-mm.
not.
He goes down to block a shot, gets it right in the groin.
God.
He's out 4 weeks. He had to have surgery on his testicles.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
How
I
does
cannot
nuts explode?
imagine. I don't know, but they talked about it. He took the puck right off the old ding
Oh,
dong,
Jesus.
and he's out, injured reserve.
You know what? They probably hooked him up with like a hydraulic penis, and now he's rocking it.
Actually,
He's got a
did you-
John
and even
John
not-
Bobbitt piece down there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
At that point, he would have to have his own goal song if he scores. Just play Detachable Penis if he ever scores.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Or what was that
not-
that Stone Temple Pilots song? Half the man it used to be if he lost a nut.
Yeah.
Not worse. but I
opposing
went back 'cause
arenas.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, I should
Not-
totally troll him.
not this isn't worse because I saw, but I just went back and saw this. Apparently, a guy for the Blue Jackets, his name is Nick Blankenberg. He was not trying to make the team, but he's trying to stay up. He came from the AHL, and they were down defensemen, so he wanted to play. He's now out 8 to 10 weeks, fractured after fracturing his ankle. He
Jeez.
fractured his ankle in the second period. He played the entire third because he knew he'd get sent down if he had, volunteered to, not play the rest. But he played the entire third period on a broken ankle.
That's nuts.
That's
You
they
know
only
what
had
though?
4 defensemen, so they knew he needed it.
As
He
long
probably
as you
blocked multiple shots in that third period too
Probably.
with a
Yeah.
fractured ankle. I guarantee he did.
just as long as you can deal with the pain and keep your foot in the skate.
Yeah.
Phew, even still though, once it's out of your skate,
That's
it's
rough.
blowing up. That's still rough.
Hockey
What was it?
players are they're a different breed.
Matt
Yeah,
Matt
they
Sundin had his ankle bolted together in the playoffs in the 90s to continue to play. I forget when that was, when Toronto,
I don't remember which one
you
that
know,
was.
but it was sometime in the 90s that Matt Sundin had his ankle bolted together to continue playing.
Jesus.
I'm trying to find. There was another article on the most liked players in the NHL, the top 10 players that no one can hate on. And I know that there were a couple of. So one of the guys was Claude Giroux. Another guy was Sidney Crosby. And I'm trying to get to it, and of course, I'm having internet issues.
Plenty of people
Boyle?
hate Crosby.
Tons of people hate him, but it was one of those, all fans could
In
kind
the
of
in the league or in fans of the league?
Or like fans.
in the league.
Not yet. The league, he's tremendously respected by almost
Oh, yeah.
unanimously in the league.
Well, it was
What about
that
Brian-
no one
is
can.
Brian
Fans
Boyle?
is different. Fans is
Right?
different. And Dubin's not in the league anymore, so he was the only one.
Huh.
Well, Brian Boyle's not in
Brian
the league
is.
anymore either.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a mad scramble. This Slovakia-Canada game is pretty good.
Did US play today or are they playing today?
They
played Germany
killed
earlier.
Germany, yeah,
Destroyed
111-1.
Germany. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, this Canada game's awfully. And Sweden beat Finland. This Canada game is very close, although shots are not close at all. It's 3-2. Slovakia's sticking
was-
around.
What was the final score of that Sweden-Finland game?
3-2.
Because at one point when I turned it on, it was 1-1 in the second period, and I think Finland had 2 shots and they had 1 goal.
Wow.
Or Sweden had 2 shots and 1 goal. One of the teams had only 2 shots and they had a goal. So,
This Slovakia team is
Very efficient.
pretty decent.
Is that the team that what's his face is on the Devils? That defenseman that they drafted. Is he on Slovakia or is that
Which one?
who's the what's his name?
Nemec.
Nemec?
Nemec.
Nemec?
Yeah, Nemec.
Yeah. Yeah, Nemec
yeah.
is here, and
Slovakian.
and
All right.
Someone else
Mistak,
too.
Mysak.
Wow.
Yeah.
My
Okay. All right. So here it is. By the way, Schwimm's boy.
Who's my boy?
Steven Stamkos.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
2
keep
goals
talking
away
about
from
Boston
500.
again. 2 goals
He's
from
at
500. Yeah, that's right.
He's at 490.
Yeah,
he's
he's
at
coming up.
498. He finally scored the other night against who the hell did they just play? Arizona, who we're going to see at the end
Yes,
of
we are.
the month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking
And,
forward
It's
to
going
it.
to be fun.
Yep.
gonna be
He was
fun.
on like a seven game goalless streak, and then he finally scored again. So now he's 2 away from 500. So I want to make sure. Hopefully, I'm around watching that game when he finally scores 500.
You should go down to Tampa.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I should. I went there once and they lost. It sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got to see a damn game, and it was the worst game I could have picked. It was honestly, I'm not even joking. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
Of course.
It wasn't for me.
It was
Although I
terrible.
did feel bad a little bit.
Yeah, it was against Pittsburgh. We lost
part of me
5-1.
felt bad, but
Screw you.
All right, so out of 800 players, this was the list of the 10 that everyone likes, meaning hockey fans and players themselves. So it was a mix of all of it. Claude Giroux, Cale Makar, David Pastrnak, Jason Robertson. Everyone likes Jason Robertson.
There's no way. Yeah.
Joe Pavelski. He also seems like everyone loves this guy. Anze Kopitar, Mark Stone, and then obviously Crosby and another guy was Leon Draisaitl.
No goalies?
No goalies. The honorable mention to Carey Price and Craig Anderson.
Okay.
I can see that.
I can see that too. Yep.
wow.
What
the scramble that just happened in the net.
Obviously, Gary Bettman was in the
Great
news.
podcasting.
Yeah, I know,
There's a lot of dead air on this podcast.
Yeah, tie game.
You guys,
Wow.
Tie game.
Tie game. Man, I wish I had NHL Network still. Stupid backwoods cable.
Canadian fans are worried.
I would
Yeah.
be too. I saw Bedard.
Connor Bedard.
15,
He's on the record to
15
break.
goals.
He's on pace to break Eric Lindros's record, or it's actually
Yeah, no, he
smash
got it.
Eric Lindros's record.
For,
he did?
For most
did?
goals. Yeah, he got 15.
Oh, yeah.
Most
Nice.
Yeah.
I think, and then we're reminded what Peter Forsberg did in his World Junior season, and then that no one has come in close at all. 31 points in one World Junior tournament.
It's wild. It's so wild.
He was so friggin' good. He was like
Yeah, he
must-see
was.
TV back in the 90s. I
Mhm.
loved watching Peter Forsberg. I wasn't even a fan, like a Colorado fan or a Flyers fan or whatever, but mostly when he was on Colorado. I just loved
Really
watching
only when he was on
Forsberg.
Colorado.
Yeah.
He was already hurt in Philly.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely one of my favorite players to watch way back when.
Agreed. He was just silky. He was just fun to watch.
I know.
Ooh, shorts guy.
trying
Guess
to
who's
figure
on pace to come back this month?
Who?
The one and only Mr. Andre Palat.
I
Shorts
saw
guy,
that.
Oh,
you
yes?
have
He's finally
Shorts guy,
back.
you have a question on Facebook Live.
What is that question?
Craig Best asks, "Is Holla going to break out with Wood or what?"
Oh, jeez. I would like to see
I
it.
personally, I don't. Holla isn't a player that breaks out. He just kind of is what he is.
Yeah.
No.
No,
He
and
He
that's-
contributes some
I would
goals,
love
and
to
that's
see
it.
that.
Or
Yeah,
fight
but
or
he's
something.
definitely-
He can get the team going.
Holla,
Yeah, he's not-
Holla doesn't fight.
No, but
He's-
I mean, he can like get the team going with like a big hit or something. Him and
Holla doesn't
Wood are
hit
friggin'
either.
him and Wood are agitators.
Wood is more the agitator than Holla.
Definitely
I-
Wood.
I would
Yeah,
love-
haven't-
I would
I've
love
never
to see
heard
Holla
of Holla
break
being
out,
an
but
agitator.
I would love to see Holla break out, but I just don't see it. He's just like you said, Steven. He is what he is. He doesn't produce consistently. He doesn't produce a lot, but yeah, I don't see him breaking out anytime soon.
Eric.
I see Palat. His return is going to be good for this team, but aside from Sam, who the hell would have thought that Nathan Bastian was going to be such a key cog to this Devils team? That he goes
Yeah,
out and
Sam.
the team goes to hell. Sam has been talking him up since we
devil
reacquired him. Seriously, he hated to see him go, and then he talked him up. And as soon as we reacquired him, it's like this year Bastian is it. So do I see Holla breaking out? No, not at all. Unfortunately, no.
I
Wood
agree. His
Wood might, Wood can, but Holla can't. I would
yeah,
love
Holla's
to be
just-
wrong.
this is Holla's career that we're kind of seeing with he's had a handful of like times where he scored more than he probably should have, but yeah, this is what you get from Holla.
Yeah.
He's not a setup
diff-
guy. He can score, but he's not going to pot 30 plus.
But the Devils do need that secondary scoring because we've been lacking that, and we're losing. We had
Yeah.
pretty good secondary scoring in that streak we had, and now we have nothing, and you're seeing the results of that.
All right, so I did have something I wanted to run past you guys. Yeah, no, I'm totally fumbling this. Okay, so the NBA just recently started renaming their awards. So they had
Okay.
all these old awards and they didn't want to use them, so now they have like the Michael Jordan MVP and all this other crap, right? So what would you guys want to see the NHL do that? So instead of the Hart Trophy for the MVP,
No.
they would name it something
No.
else, maybe the Gretzky
I want them
No.
to add an award. I want
Memorial.
them to do the best offensive defenseman. Have that be its own
Okay.
award.
Well, obviously.
So that and the Norris. So
And then
who would
and then a
But I'm
Norris
saying-
also.
like the Orr?
So instead
maybe?
of it being
Name it like the Bobby
James
Orr
Norris,
award or something. That's fine.
Yeah, the Bobby Orr is
Okay,
great at
so-
both, but still.
Yeah, but I'm saying so this would be the thing. So instead
Paul
of naming it the James Norris for the best defenseman, it would be the Bobby Orr, Memorial Trophy, and then you'd also
He's
have
not dead yet.
the all right, fine, the Bobby Orr Trophy, or whatever you want to call it.
You just jinxed them.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
God.
Seriously.
Watch. But the MVP would go to Gretzky Award. The Vezina could be the Dominic Hasek Award.
Or the
No.
Art Ross can go to Gretzky, right?
Art
Yeah.
Ross could go to Gretzky.
Yeah, I
Calder.
wouldn't want them
Who would
to
be-
rename them. I don't know.
No.
The Calder could be Teemu Selanne, 72 goals.
No.
The Teemu Selanne Rookie of the
No.
Year Award.
No.
No?
It is like it's
No.
weird to think of because I don't know. I don't think there needs to be, even though these guys at the end of, well, obviously now these guys aren't the best at what they did anymore, right? But I don't think it matters. I think they are what they are,
Well,
and they can stay that way.
I can't remember it, but one of the guys on who was
It's like, how do you
named after-
rename
I
it?
don't-
Like, it's just how do
That's-
you think of like who now deserves to dethrone these
though?
guys from their trophies? I don't know.
That's playing to an audience that doesn't know the history of your sport and why they're named.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't like it.
You're dumbing down your awards to appeal to people who are new to your sport, who are new to your league as far as fans are concerned. Keep it the way it is. Don't change it. If you're going to add an award, then okay, you have to do something like the Bobby Orr Award or the Paul Coffey or whatever for
and it for what it's worth, this isn't the first time we were talking about like comparing it to like basketball, for instance, and they're making changes and hockey isn't. I don't think the basketball changes. I'm not a fan of it. Like I don't follow basketball. I'm not a fan of it, so I don't know what I have no say on whether the changes are well received or not. But I feel like when you say should we do it in the NHL, it's always like a resounding no because it just sounds dumb.
Mm-hmm.
True. Obviously, just quickly. So James Norris, do you guys know who James Norris was?
I don't know a whole lot about the history of some of these
So-
guys.
He was actually an owner. So that's the thing. They're saying like, hey, some of these guys, like I believe I think the Art Ross Trophy. Art Ross only has one career NHL point, and it's the Art Ross Trophy is the top scoring player in the league. So like James
It's
Norris
ironic,
was
isn't it?
was an owner. Well, yeah, Norris was an owner who it's the defensive trophies named after him. The Hart Memorial Trophy is named after a Canadian Dr. David Hart, who donated the original trophy to the NHL. So that's how he got the name on his trophy. Like, so that's what they're just trying to see. Can we make this more about the best players in our league and to prop them up to, kind of, like the basketball's doing, obviously.
So,
Like-
the,
like
so
the
the
Art-
best
the Art
player
Ross one.
for that trophy that would represent that trophy, it would be named after
Yes.
They
in
should
the
do a
history of the
Gretz-
sport.
They should do a
I don't know.
Gretzky Award and have it follow the Art Ross thing. So like Gretzky's the highest scoring player like ever, and have that award go to the guy who has
The
like
lowest
the worst
point guy?
season. He's like minus 62 with no points. That guy should get an award.
That'd be good. I like it. All right. I
It'd
can
be like
go
the
with that.
Razzies of the
The
NHL.
Razzies.
There you go. There you go.
They should do that. Like the
Um,
guy with the worst freaking plus minus or something like that. Or I don't know. I don't know what else there could be. Maybe a goalie getting a horrible or for having like a 700 save percentage and a 8-point goals against average or something.
The Mike Smith Trophy.
That could be the Mike Smith Award.
That'll be all right.
Oh man.
Pierre LeBrun quickly just did the 6 things he'd change in the NHL if he was the commish. And I just wanted you guys to get a couple opinions. So the first one was fix the point system. He wanted it to be obviously 3 for a win.
3-2-1.
3-2-1.
3-2-1.
3-2-1. Yep.
I'd be about that.
I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 was go back to conference playoffs. So the current the current playoff system, which is
Like
the top
1v8 and whatnot. Yeah,
Yep.
I like the old one.
1-8. I like 1-8. Yeah, 1-8, 2-7, stuff like that.
No matter what.
Obviously, eliminate the Martin Brodeur legacy rule, which is the trapezoid.
Trapezoid should go.
I think it's stupid. Yeah.
Allow teams to retain more salary in trades so that teams can be harbiters for more trades. I agree with that.
What is it now?
Why not?
50% raise tops?
50%, yep.
You can't do more
So
than
maybe
that.
maybe go up to 75. I don't know if you could do a full 100, but
No, that's tough.
that'd be
Nah, yeah, that wouldn't be.
I still think 50% is fine.
Or 60, maybe top it out at 60%.
Yeah. Move up the start of NHL free agency. So right now it's July 1st.
July 1st?
So he's saying
It happens pretty quick. So, I mean, I don't know.
I don't think
know.
that's like a pressing issue at
No,
all.
I don't think so either. Because it's like the Stanley Cup happens, and then the awards, whatever, and then the draft, and then free agency. It's like bang, 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 like all in consecutive weeks. So I don't think that's necessary at all.
Plus, if they move it up, they're going to be having to do like a lot more shit while like the season could potentially still be going on. Like, because these guys, they're talking to free agents well before July 1st.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
About coming to their team. They're going to have to like ramp that up. No, I think July 1st is fine. If anything, move it back, not up.
Kind of like, was it last summer where it wasn't until like the 17th or whatever, 19th?
Yeah.
Something wild like that.
Mm-hmm.
His last one was move the season up so you award the Stanley Cup on May 31st, so you actually start in September. So this way we're not playing into, June, which is crazy to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of like June.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's fine.
June hockey is fun.
Any rules you guys would change?
Any rules? I think the trapezoid thing was
if you're
commissioned. That's easy.
What would you do?
Worthless. Definitely get rid of the trapezoid. That's stupid.
Yeah, trapezoid. Get rid of that.
What else?
Other than that,
I would fix the LTIR fiasco.
So Tampa can no longer benefit from it.
I would do all penalties last the full 2 minutes.
Everything's a major. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, right? I'm not into that at all.
I really do.
I'm not in the slightest bit.
And then I'd also reseed after one round of playoffs, rank 1 to 8.
Yeah, and then reseed. Yeah.
Yeah, keep reseeding.
That wasn't happening before. That was happening before.
Yeah, that's kind of what
it was.
But
1 to 8, it did reseed.
Yeah,
but
this new style isn't. Yeah. It's the new style. So this new system makes the first round more exciting than it typically was, because the first round, it was just the top seed usually won, and there wasn't like a whole lot of bad blood between the teams or whatever. So yeah, I think that's the one benefit, is that the first round becomes more exciting this way. But then I don't know. But then it's like, but you had such a big matchup
on the later rounds.
Yeah, because you lose out because it's such a big matchup in that first round between that 2 and 3 seed, right, in the group, that later in the rounds you're just like, this isn't as good as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like Montreal is in the conference final when,
Yeah, or like, even with something stupid like with the Rangers and Pittsburgh, like that series was so good, and then they go on to play Carolina, and it was just I've struggled to watch any games in that series. It was just so dull.
Speaking of Carolina, though, they look friggin' unstoppable right now.
They're good.
Holy crap. What, they won, like 11 in a row or some shit?
Something like that. We at least stole a point from them yesterday. If the Devils could have scored on if the Devils didn't get into penalty trouble in the third and then could score in a shootout, they could have potentially beat them, but Devils couldn't.
Shorts got quickly 2-6-2 the last 10.
Yikes!
It's been bad.
It's been real bad. They have opportunity to take points Wednesday, Thursday against Detroit and St. Louis, and hopefully they do that. And then
they should do that.
Saturday's gonna. Well, they should have done other things too in the last couple weeks, but they didn't. Saturday is going to be a big game against the Rangers, and hopefully they take some points in that game too.
Nope.
But it's they have to take the points on Wednesday and Thursday and kind of go with that.
Yeah.
So,
have you guys been watching a little bit of like the Western Pacific? The last 10 games, not one team has more than 5 wins out of 10.
Wow.
You know, they don't. It's just such a shit show in the Pacific.
it's so bad. It's so
man,
bad.
it's funny. All right. You guys got to talk anything else? We'll get out of here. Steve, Schwim, do you have any trivia or anything?
I'm gonna watch the end of this Canada-Slovakia game.
I do not have any trivia. No.
Or goaltenders is what I was trying to.
Oh no, I just have a dad quote for you. That's all.
Ooh, dad quote. I like dad quotes.
Or a dad joke, whatever the hell you want to call them.
All right.
In honor of Billy Dean becoming a dad for the second time.
Dad squared.
That's
True.
what the shirt says.
I like it.
It does say that.
Does he even know that it does?
I don't think so. I don't think he definitely did not buy that. Somebody bought that for him.
This one, dad squared. Oh, this is Beth.
Yeah.
This
Exactly.
Is Beth. Yeah. No. I know what dad squared means. All right. Let's just get out of here. Shit show. 375. Undistinguished indistinguishability.
This is not an
425.
Arizona green tea.
4.
I would much rather
4.
drink multiple Arizona green teas than this.
Yes.
I'll give it a 3.
We're gonna have to find
Project
Zonas
Girl,
and
bud.
Zona.
It probably should be lower. I'm gonna get Dean that for his birthday.
Ooh, thank you.
What
We're
was my
playing
dad joke?
Dungeons and Dragons next week.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm also going to go to Nightmare and then come to Dungeons and Dragons because they're going to hook me up on cases of beer. They emailed me about having it for my wedding.
Nice.
They emailed me about it. I'm like, I didn't even have to email
awesome.
them. Yeah, so I'm going there to get a shit ton of Nightmare.
nice.
I'm gonna start a tally of how many times Shrimp swears on a podcast. I don't even think you realize how often you do.
Did I drop any F-bombs?
Literally just rolls off the tip of your tongue like it's nothing.
I dropped one.
I think I say shit a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my go-to. I think it's my go-to curse. I don't think I say the F word a lot though. I think you say the F word more than I do.
I've said it once. I said it once
you.
this podcast.
I don't think I ever have on this podcast.
You definitely have.
I don't know.
No, go back to the tape.
Take her home. Take her home, Shrimp.
What was the dad joke on? My wife still thinks I'm sexy. Every time I walk by her, she says, "What an ass."